The wolves were not a metaphor. Their eyes shimmered in the dusk, real and relentless, circling us with primal hunger. Their howls pierced the shadowed forest, and every low growl drove home the truth. I hadn't just been abandoned. I had been left to die. 2 weeks earlier, I had set off on what was supposed to be a simple weekend camping trip. My wife, a few of her friends, our 10-year-old son Ethan, and me. Campfires, marshmallows, laughter under the stars. That was a promise. They spoke about reconnecting with nature, but what they meant was cutting me loose. It was meant to be a short hike. Just me and Ethan, wandering off into the woods while the others stayed behind. He was eager, chasing birds, collecting feathers, proud to lead the way. Less than an hour later, we returned to find the campsite wiped clean. No tents, no gear, no cars, just silence, and a folded note pinned beneath a smooth river stone on the picnic table. This is for the best. Believe me, no name, just familiar handwriting. Leela, my wife of 12 years. The woman who once cried when I gave her a necklace made of sea glass, saying it held the story of us. Now she had left me and our son in the wilderness with no cell signal, no compass, no supplies. Nothing but towering trees and the kind of silence that hums with betrayal. Looking back, every word she'd spoken in the days leading up to the trip was part of the setup. You've been distant, she'd said. The woods might help center you. She wasn't talking about peace. She was talking about disappearance, about escape. Hers. I remember how tightly she hugged Ethan that morning. A little too long. Her friends avoided my eyes, their backpacks suspiciously light. She insisted I take the only map. At the time, it seemed strange. Later, it screamed of premeditation. 1 day passed, and I still expected to hear an engine, see headlights cresting the trail. By day 3, I knew they weren't coming back. By day 5, we were rationing half a granola bar and drinking from filtered stream water. By day 7, I killed a squirrel with a rock and carved it open with my pocket knife. By day 12, I was wrapping Ethan's blistered feet with moss and kindling fire from stone. When we stumbled onto a dirt road, hollowed out, scraped raw, but alive, I smiled. They thought we'd vanish without noise. They miscalculated 2 things: how far father would go for his son, and the man I used to be before Leela ever met me. She never asked why I cut ties with my family's money, why I left law school with 1 semester to go, why I never let her into the basement. Some truths are too sharp for comfortable love. All she cared about was how I made her feel safe. But safety was never real. It was a story I let her live in. After I got Ethan settled, under a false name at a small clinic with people I trusted, I made 1 call. Dimitri. He owed me. I never thought I'd need to call that favor in. Then I watched. Leela moved on fast. No missing persons report. No searches. Not a single whisper concern. She sold the house. Moved in with Aaron, my best man, her secret lover. The plan had been brewing for years. She siphoned money from our joint account into a hidden one within days of the trip. I know because I sat in a car across from the bank and watched her walk in. Time was my ally. I cloned her phone, read the texts, compiled the emails. I followed her digital footprint until I had a clear timeline. The affair, the manipulation, the plan to paint me unstable, the scheme to stage a tragedy, my tragic disappearance in the wild. They didn't just leave us. They erased us. My first move was a letter to her employer. Anonymous, laced with evidence. Screenshots of emails between her and Aaron, discussions of their affair, references to me as a liability and easy to unhinge. She was fired within days. Then I sent the same package to Aaron's wife. Yes, he was married. Another layer of rot peeled back. But that wasn't the real strike. Years ago, I had quietly rewritten my will. Leela assumed if I died, everything would pass to her. What she didn't know was that the estate was sealed behind a trust, irrevocable and meant for Ethan alone, under specific conditions that only I could fulfill. When she tried to claim the inheritance, thinking me dead, the bank flagged it. That's when the police got involved. And that's when I walked through the doors, very much alive, holding Ethan's hand. Leela turned pale. Her purse slipped from her shoulder, and hit the marble floor. Aaron muttered something about blessings. I didn't speak to either of them. Not at the bank. Not at their arrest. Not even at the custody hearing. I let the evidence speak instead. Recordings, emails, financial transfers, a signed confession from one of the friends who cracked under pressure to avoid charges. It was clean, brutal, legal. Leela lost her freedom. Aaron lost his marriage. And Ethan, he got his life back. His truth, his justice. The world saw a woman cry on the evening news, begging for forgiveness, pleading that it was all a mistake. But I knew she left her son to die for a fresh start. She underestimated the one thing I never showed her, what I'm capable of when cornered. I once studied people for fun. My memory is a weapon. My patience is tectonic. Now, when Ethan asks why she did it, I tell him the truth. Some people are too afraid to face the life they've built, so they burn it down and run from the smoke. But fire leaves marks, trails, scars, and we followed them. 12 days turned us into ghosts. One moment brought us back. Now she counts her time behind bars. And I count stars beside my son, one for every lesson she taught me, especially the last.